This is part 4, Kung Fu Havoc number 2. To be honest with you, this is like my 5th or 6th attempt at part 4 in colorism. Now, I've touched on a lot of stuff in the other 3 videos, and hopefully I'm going to make this short and sweet because there was a lot of arguing, and my camera mic can pick up everything, even an ant fart, but it doesn't need to pick up everything. It only needs to pick up the acoustics in this room, and sadly, it picks up everything. So, as I was talking about Rock, Tyrese, Money Wheel, Color Wheel, that kind of shit, I was ending before the argument happened and I had to delete the video about how families don't exist due to the racism part of how if you're a dark-skinned black man and you're dating a white lady, the black women are all on your shit, and even your family, and they're like, nah, you can't be with this white woman, blah, blah, blah. They don't use that term, because no one hates women more than women, and they use the B word a lot, and the C word, and you guys can figure it out. And then on the reverse scale, if it's your black woman with a white man, oh God, you committed carnal sin, because all the black men are like, what's wrong with this black B, man? Why is she dating this white dude? They don't use the word white dude. They use the words cracker or the H word. So, you know, not like the cracker was any better than the H word. Both of them are bad. Just like when I said the B word and the C word, they're both bad. You know, you guys can Google that. If you're over 18, then you should know by now what the hell those words mean. But the point of the matter is, when you fall in love with somebody, you don't see the color of their skin. You fall in love with them because of who they are. Or who they are at the time, which is why you have divorce. But the thing with the color wheel and the colorism and the black lady going off about Latin women being superior than black women. Again, I like to end this on a peaceful note. When I get to the ending, I'm going to touch on that one more time. But the thing is, black people, you ain't got to really worry about the Latin women right now. You need to worry about your own and checking yourselves, because we don't. We don't check ourselves. When I go into a job interview and I go into a job interview with a guy who's darker than me, they're going to look at which one of our faces is more presentable. So I go into the job interview for stock because I want to be in the back. I don't want to look at people. I know I have a brash attitude and I don't want to make the company look bad, so I beg for a stock job. The manager, if they're an Asian or a white person, may look at me like, you know, you look like you might be more suitable to work in the front. But they don't know me. They just assume because I'm lighter skinned that people are going to come in with smiles on their faces and the big old hoppity glow of, hey, there's a light-skinned brother. So we have a brother working up in here. Cool. He's a light-skinned brother, and he brightens the place up with his glory. And I could be the most rageful son of a bitch you've ever met in your life. And then the black guy who wanted to do the job you're going to give me, smarter, taller, more intelligent, got the skills, he's like overqualified. And you look at him and like, he looks kind of hostile because he's black, you know, where he's like 6'8", he's like super big and super husky, and he may be a 200-pound weakling and can't lift his way out of a wet paper bag, but you want to put him in the back so that people don't see that you have burly black guys working in the back. And then you got me, the 125-pound super strong guy. You got my dumb ass working in the front because I can't read, I can't write, but I look good, so you're going to put me there. Now, this generally happens in un-black-related jobs. Jobs that acquire a tax write-off, so we hire a light-skinned guy to bring the customers in because people are naturally attracted to light-skinned people, which is bullshit. People are attracted to personality. Your skin tone has nothing to do with that shit. But when you're dealing with people of color, a lot of people of color are edgier on darker black-skinned people. And it's a damn shame because it happens. As some of my best friends are darker than me. You know, as I was saying, what I was going to say about my video of Guardians of the Earth, when my dad was jumping down my throat about cussing, some of my darker skinned friends who are in the film say a lot of black on black racial shit. And I was against it, but I got outvoted, so I kept it. Because I kept it for them, out of love and respect for them. But a lot of things that people in the film were saying towards my friend, my bro, my sensei, for my Saber Knight stuff, reflected on his skin tone. And it was hurting me. It wasn't hurting him But it was hurting me because I was like, dude, I was not raised that way. I was not raised to call darker skinned people than me darkies or black people like that. I was just raised as you're a person. And he understood that, which is why he still voted against me anyway. Shout out to Courtney. He voted that we were going to keep it. And I was like, dude, that shit it's just not right. There's only black people in there. The one white guy in the film dies in the first act, in the first episode. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to, like, call this dude, have this dude call this dude a black bee. I was like, that's not cool. It's like, that's like racist and sexist at the same time. I said, well, I'm an alien. So I was like, yeah, I wrote the script, but it just made me feel bad because of the history of how blacker people have been treated. The last thing I want to do is make him like a supervillain and he's being insulted, even though he does whoop our ass through the whole damn movie to the very end, which, again, goes back to painting everything I just said 5 minutes ago about how you want the light-skinned guy working in the front and you want the dark guy working in the back, which, again, is not fair, but there it is. And you don't really weigh the pros and cons of that until you do. And I weighed the pros and cons of that while we were filming, and it's like, dude, can't we have him say something else to you? And Corey's like, nah, it's fine, man, it's fine. It's going to make the movie. It's going to fight. It's fine, fine. And then everybody else is like, you need to keep that, because it's like the best line. And I'm like, no. He has better lines that are way better. But when you're saying a line to someone darker than you that sounds racially insulting and you're both black, it doesn't feel right. But out of respect, we voted to keep the scene in. And so we did. And so when I put the movie back together again, it's going to be there out of respect and honor. And as much as I love my friend Sifu Bro, I still feel to this day that it shouldn't have been in there. Because he gives the guy a 180. That's a kick where you get your left foot caught and you come this way, versus the 360 where you get your left foot cut and you come this way. Okay? So, that being said, the whole concept of the colorism, of the color wheel, this shit ain't just about gender, it's about skin tone as well as gender. But this was coming from a woman, which made it just as bad when she's like, okay, so she explained the Love and Hip Hop situation, she explained all the other stuff, and to get down to the nitty gritty of my point, we're all colored. We need to learn how to see each other as people and not skin tone. I'm mixed, so I don't have the right to be a racist. When you are born mixed, you don't have the right to be a racist. And if you are raised a racist, you will probably raise a racist. And as long as we keep doing this colorism, this color wheel, this bullshit that is, we are going to have this problem. Now, here's where I play devil's advocate. Because if you watch video 1 or 2, possibly 3, where I said I don't date black women, I date Asian women and Latin women. And I explained what happened, how a 14-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy was stopped in the middle of the street by a 23-year-old and put a gun to my fucking face. I stopped dating black girls. It's nothing personal against all black girls, because there are some very beautiful black girls. But then, I also tell you that way back in grade school, red-bone, light-skinned girls told me that I would never be good enough for black chicks. And they didn't just tell me that shit once. They told me that shit from the fucking first day they see me until we got into different schools. And if you get told something long enough, you start to believe it. And after that, when I had the 2 experiences with black girls that was horrible, I thought back to those 2 girls in the cafeteria at Berlin Moran School who were light-skinned like me. One of them even had the same last name as mine. And the other one's last name was Turner. And I wept inside myself as I just swore them off. Then I got family members. Why don't you try dating a black girl? Why don't you try dating a black girl? And every black girl that even showed the remote interest, sadly, I don't want to be in an already made family because they had a happy accident. And not only one, some of them had 7 or 8 happy accidents. I don't have a problem dating a girl with a baby. if it's one baby. You got 2 or 3 babies, you know, that's just bad. And not all black girls have 2 or 3 babies, so don't take this shit out of context. You know, but the girls that was interested in me were checkers or check trappers. They just get pregnant to have a trap. And if you don't pay your child support, clink clink. I'm not getting involved with a shit like that. I don't give a fuck what color she is. I'm not getting involved with baby daddy drama. Because I'm not going to jail because my girlfriend, being white, black, Asian, or other, sucks his dick but won't suck mine. And then he comes around and parades that shit. Hey, when I used to date her, she sucked my dick hard. Men do that shit. Women do that shit too. When I dated him, he ate my pussy all the time. Well, he doesn't touch mine. I need to have a talk with him. Next thing you know, there's problems. So, I don't need that shit in my life. But we as people, especially people of color, we don't look out for each other. We look out for ourselves. We don't check everybody else's feelings at the door. We check our own feelings. But we don't check our personalities. We don't check who we are. We don't check the polite box. I should be politer to this dark-skinned dude. Even though he's bigger than me and I know I can whip him, I should be politer. We don't see that. We see this. Psh! What's up, Big Black? You want to fight? Let's take that shit outside, brother. Big Black looks down. What's up, little yellow? You mixed breed motherfucker. Get out of here. You know, try to smack a brother. Next thing you know, it's a big fight and I'm on top. Because most of the people who've ever fought me has been bigger than me. We need to check ourselves with colorism. We need to understand that everyone, especially in America, who is of black descent, is more likely more mixed than you think, and you just don't know it. I didn't know it. I had to go do family research. I still need to do a DNA test to make sure how much Indian I have in me for college purposes. No, I was at McGuire once, and a Native American who was darker than me. He was half Native American, half black. He had mostly black features, including his skin tone. He's like, yo, you need to contact that National Native American something, something, and something, and then this, and this. And when I contacted them, they told me I need to go get a DNA test and then submit it to them to see if the Cherokee Nation would even accept me. Why? I know what my great-grandmothers were. Why? Why can't I just claim my heritage? No, you have to prove it. Colorism. It's what a fucking concept, right? 50% of why they don't want to give people of color reparations because they are afraid we are going to double dip. Alright? I'm going to end this on this. I want you guys to Google that shit. Because it was even on one of the news things where they said that 9 times out of 10, people are going to try to double dip if we give reparations to people who are not just descendants of slaves, but also descendants of Native Americans. Because if anybody deserves reparations, it's Native Americans. And people like me, who exist, who are part Cherokee, part black, and part white, they're thinking that we're going to be double dipping. They're going to be like, oh, well, you've proved that you're Native American because you took the DNA test. You've proved that you're black. But you can only have repercussions or repositions or reparations or whatever the fuck the shit is one time. So, are you going to get it from the black side? Or are you going to get it from the Native American side? Because white people don't get reparations either, even though there were white slaves. You understand the clusterfuck that is America. And now you understand the clusterfuck that is colorism. But why don't we try to fix it? Especially amongst black people. You can get 2 people of each skin tone and sit their asses at a table, and I've said this about every race as well, and nobody wants to do it. So you can turn that and stick that in the colorism wheel and call it a day, because this is the final video for colorism.